Beautiful beings of light. And welcome back to Monday 55. You're from in the world. There are technology issues, that's why I'm starting a little bit late, but thank you all for joining me anyway. And lots of fun stuff to talk about today. Today we're going to be talking about, the awakening. We're talking about aliens. We're talking the fifth dimension. We're talking about memory. I didn't really know what exactly to call this live video because I have received so many downloads in the past couple of days that I just kind of want to talk about a little bit of everything. So thank you all, Kathy, Rob. Oh, hey, bro. Nice to see you on here finally. I love how, the people who are closest to me rarely ever watch my videos. So I'm very glad that my brother is joining us today. Hey, everyone on YouTube as well. Thank you all so much. I decided to paint myself today as that's kind of how I feel. I really feel like I embodied a warrior this past weekend. I did a bunch of archery and I just totally got into the spirit. So I was really getting thrown back to past lifetimes in a Hopi tribe in Joshua Tree. So we'll definitely be talking about that as well. And okay, so a little overview of the content. So I'm going to be talking about the full moon, some downloads that I received. I'm going to be talking about the past life of the week, which is really cool. I'm going to be talking about the awakening and how you know that you are ahead of the game. How do you know that you're awakening before the rest of the world? And how do you know you're a teacher? So we're going to be talking about that. I got another download about this live video, which is really cool. We're going to be talking about how to transition your everyday into the third dimension from the fifth dimension, or from the third to the fifth. I'm going to be talking about ego memory. What is memory? How can we harness it? And how can we actually utilize memory to our best and highest interest? So that's going to be really cool. I'm going to be talking about cognitive dissonance and how inner conflicts with self basically mean disharmony. So we're going to be talking about that. I also received a huge download related to disclosure, alien disclosure and awakening. What does it mean to have a UFO sighting? What does it mean to go through, some sort of contact with interdimensional beings? So we'll be talking about that as well. And then at the end, I'm going to finish off this live video with a group channel. I used to do this all the time, and most of the time I'm so exhausted on Mondays, I just don't want to channel anymore. But today I'm going to just channel the group. I'm going to tap into all of your energy, see what's going on, see what you have to know at this time, and we're going to kind of close it off with that. And then, of course, I have the draw as well. I think I just added like 25 names this morning about new reviews into the draw. I also want to let you know as well that I'm going to be drawing 2 people today. One person gets a free 30-minute session, and the reason being is because the woman who I had a session with, her name is Carolina, such a beautiful soul. Our session kept getting interrupted by a variety of different things. We rescheduled it 3 times, and eventually she said, "You know what, Elizabeth?" She says, "I feel like I'm strong enough to find the answers on my own, and I would like to gift my 30-minute session to someone who needs it." I mean, incredible. Like, these are the people that I deal with on a daily basis. I love my clients. I love these high vibrations. So one of you today, as long as you've reviewed me and your name is in the bucket, one of you gets to go home with a 30-minute session from me today as well, because of Carolina. So you can kind of thank her for that beautiful gift, which is incredible. Okay, so let's just kind of start off with all of you before we get into the content and some of the announcements. So first of all, as you all know, you guys know the drill. Where is your location? Where are you coming from in the world? And what is one emotion that you've been feeling this past week? Now, It's been an emotional week because it's been the full moon and I was in Joshua Tree, so the energies were incredible. So where are you from in the world? And what is one emotion that you can kind of embody this week? Okay, so we've got Alexis and frustration. Okay, who else do we have here? We've got Stardust Soul here on YouTube from North Carolina. You're overwhelmed. Absolutely. Okay. Christopher on YouTube from Huntington Beach. Okay. Who else do we have here? Okay. Joy from Oakland, California. Hi, Joy. Okay, we've got New Zealand, Tommy. What else? Okay, Valerie, enlightening. Very good. Okay, good. Mr. Brainwash on YouTube, England and rainy. Okay, yeah. Someone from Quebec here. Emotion is harmony. Okay, good. I myself, I would say that, I'm here in California right now, and I would say my emotion of the week is enlightening. I don't know if that's an emotion, but I'm going to use that word. It's been very enlightening, and I just have so much information better because I can't channel and read all of your beautiful comments. So please hit that heart button, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the angry button, whatever. Same thing for you guys on YouTube. Please, respond to me via the emojis, and then I can really know what is hitting home for all of you. So if there's something in this live broadcast that you resonate with, please let me know by hitting that emoji button, and that way I can visually see what you're resonating with. Okay, thank you. Okay, so first things first, I am releasing a brand new quiz this week. Now, I released a alien hybrid quiz a couple weeks ago. I got a crazy amount of response. I think 2,500 people have taken it so far, which just warms my soul. Everyone is looking to know who they are. So this week on Wednesday, I am releasing a Mandela effect quiz. If you're on YouTube, you can find my alien quiz on my little community section with all of my posts. If you're on Facebook, you can find it on my personal Facebook page, the alien quiz. On Facebook, I'm releasing the new Mandela Effect quiz right now. If you are signed up to be a part of my group, the Elizabeth April School of Awakening, then you have already access to the Mandela Effect quiz. So you take a series of questions, things that I've personally noticed have changed. There's many different examples of the Mandela Effect. And then it either tells you if you are Mandela affected or Mandela not affected, which is really cool. So definitely take that quiz. Jenny said on Facebook, you just took it, you're affected. Thank you for signing up for my group. If you're on YouTube or Facebook and you have yet to add yourself to my group, please do so now. I mean, really great content, a really awesome community of people, like-minded individuals. That's Elizabeth April School of Awakening. Awesome. Okay. And then a couple more things. My next webinar is, I didn't even write down the date here. I think it's December 9th. Not sure. But my next webinar, I think it's the 9th, Sunday the 9th. And it's all about mental health and how to be happy. We're going to be talking about anxiety, depression, restlessness, and how you can overcome mental health to be happy in life. So you definitely check out that webinar. But I do want to let you all know that for the new year, January 2019, I'm releasing so much content. I'm releasing a new blog, tons of blog entries going to be released there. I'm releasing an online school course, 9-week course to take you from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension. It's so expansive. It's all of my knowledge in one course, which is so mind-blowing. I'm also releasing individual guided meditations. You can buy those if you feel inclined. And then also webinars. I'm releasing all of the webinars that I did this past year. I'm going to be releasing them and publishing them after I re-record them for the new year. So if you missed out on a reptilian, Mandela effect, if you missed out on an awakening, psychic, energy webinar, those will be available to you in the new year. And then last but not least, guys, for the announcements, thanks for hanging in there. 25% off all of my merchandise, and that ends today. Cyber Monday, Black Friday, all of that great stuff. Today I am wearing I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm wearing one of my shirts. This is a tank top. It has my logo, and then it has this amazing gold foil on it. This is right where your solar plexus is, and all of my merchandise is meant to expand your vibration as you wear it. I also have this as well, which is an awesome, you can kind of hardly see it on Facebook, but it's a really cute pouch, and it has a guided meditation at the back here. And then it's got, let's see, Palo Santo, it's got an onyx stone, and then it's got a selenite. And the guided meditation works with all three of these to align and clear your vibration. So once again, 25% off. I think this crystal set with the guided meditation turns out to be, $15 or something like that. So definitely check that out if you're interested. Once again, today is the last day for it. My assistant, Lauren, will be posting the links for the merchandise on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you for that, Lauren. Okay, and then of course the awakening calendars, they're just about to be sent out, shipped out. These are incredible, guys. Every single month is a download of information for you, and every single month is an activity for all of you as well. So if you're interested in just kind of making your 2019 year that much more intentional, that much more conscious, you want to check out the awakening calendar for 2019. And right now they're on back order, but they should be released anytime, and they're going to be shipped worldwide. So take a look at that and keep that in mind. Okay, so first thing I want to mention is the past life of the week. This is really interesting, and it has to do with the church. So I had a client just yesterday, and I call him up and I say, I'm so sorry, but I'm on the road. Can we do a phone call instead of a Skype? And so he tells me, he says, you know what, I don't want to do a phone call because there are people who are tracking my phone calls, and they're gathering personal information about me. And so I'm thinking, oh no, this is so intense. Like, is it the government? Is it the elites? Like, who's tracking this guy, right? Anyway, so he tells me, he says, well, I left my church, not too long ago, and they've been tracking me down and tracking this personal information to hold against me. So I'm really paranoid about, using my phone. So I said, okay, absolutely no worries. And so, of course, at first I thought it was the Church of Scientology, just because, I've done a lot of research on the Church of Scientology, and it's not good, and they would do something like that. Turns out this guy left the Christian church, and when he decided to leave, he got into 4 car accidents in a matter of 2 months. The kind of dark energy that followed him. So I tapped into it. Turns out he's done this in a number of past lives where he's searched for the truth. He came across an institution that gave him a little piece of the truth, saying, hey, here you go, but it's not everything. And with that piece of the truth, he's still questioned. And so in wanting to leave the church, the Christian church in this lifetime, there was these dark entities that were around the pastor and other people in the church who ended up following him after he left. And so I took a look at the church and the people who were in that church in particular, not coming down on Christianity or churches in general, but I thought this was a very interesting experience where he finally started to wake up to say, there's got to be something so much more than this. And when he finally woke up to that fact, he separated, but then, they started tracking him and following him and some creepy stuff. So, this is just a point of interest, but it was a very interesting session. I really kind of helped him get free of that. I said, look, you have to stop living in fear. You have to start living your life. I mean, at the end of the day, what is the worst case scenario, right? Very interesting. Okay, so let's move on. I want to talk about a little bit of a download that I received, regarding teachers. And this is a point, that's going to basically help all of you awaken. And before I get to that, I want to ask you, has anyone here, just kind of to help the flow of the energy, has anyone here experienced some low or negative vibrations from the church before? I've had a lot of people tell me that they walk into churches and they feel this glorious, expansion and connection to source and this beautiful energy, and then I've heard the opposite. So anyone here have weird experiences with Catholicism, Christianity? I was raised Catholic, and I really never resonated with it. So anyone here have any stories they want to share with any of us? Just kind of to help the flow and to connect everyone. I always mention as well, if you resonate with someone who's on the chat or someone who's kind of like commenting, if you resonate with them, most likely there's some sort of connection or past life there for you. So please reach out to them, connect with a tribe. This is our international, interdimensional tribe. So connect with your people. You guys are all here for a reason because we're all resonating at the right vibrational frequency. Okay, so the awakening 2016 to 2018. I've mentioned this a little bit before in past lives, but it's really important that I mention this again. So, okay, I want to ask you a series of questions. And if you resonate with it, either click the little emoji button or give me a thumbs up in the comments or just say yes or say no. Let me know. So a couple of questions here. Okay. Have you gone through more than one dark night of the soul / ego death within the past 3 years since 2016? Once again, has your ego basically collapsed in the past 3 years since 2016? Have you changed your job, your relationship, or what's the third thing? Your job, your relationship, or your home, your living situation? Have you changed your job, your living situation, or your relationship in the past 3 years since 2016? What else? Have you had profound experiences of insight and downloads and spiritual connection in the past 3 years since 2016? Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses. And to be honest, everyone, I am not surprised that I'm getting so many yeses. And the reason being is because you probably wouldn't be here listening to this live video right now if you were not at a certain vibrational frequency. This is not an ego thing. It's not, there is no better or worse. There is just a resonation of wave vibrations. And I put out a vibration and I attract a like vibration, right? So the reason why I asked, and if you said yes to at least one of those questions, then that means you are a teacher. Okay, so I wanted to start off this live video and this literal download of information. Okay, I wanted to start off this live video with reminding all of you that you are powerful, that you are teachers. Okay, so here's the flow. This is what I call all of you. So if you basically went through an ego death and then an awakening between 2016 and 2018, it means that what I like to call the first wave of ascension. Now, of course, we've had many, many waves of ascension since the 60s, right? We really have. But right now at this time, this huge, shift that we're all going through, I call this the first wave of ascension, 2016 to 2018. Now, the people who went through the first wave of ascension, okay, you are meant to be the teachers. You've gone through the shit. You've been challenged. You've literally let go of everything that you thought you knew to get to your point right now where you're rebuilding yourself, okay? The rest of the world, as we all know, the rest of the world is ignorant, okay? Blissfully ignorant, right? The rest of the world has no fucking clue what is about to hit them. And what's about to hit the rest of the world is what we've all gone through, right? It's like, in the past year, it's like, well, why me? Why am I going through this? Why are all my friends and family happy-go-lucky? Why don't they see what I see? Why don't they feel what I feel? It's because they're not exactly there with you, because you are meant to be their teacher, okay? We went through the shit first because we are meant to be the teachers for everyone else. No matter what spiritual level you were at when you went into 2016, including myself, we've all experienced ego deaths and a complete collapse of our reality so that we can rebuild our reality to help the rest of the world, okay? We are the first 5% of humanity who's awakening, okay? Now we need to bring the rest of the, 95% with us, okay? We are the teachers. It's really, really, really important that all of you know your friends, your family, your husband, your wife, okay? Anyone else in your life who has been struggling internally but not changing, these are the people who are going to be having an ego death in the years of 2019 and 2020, okay? Basically, what I've channeled is by the point of the end of 2021, and I would even say the end of 2020, at that point in time, the rest of the world needs to shift. And I am so impressed and so surprised every single day because I get messages from people every day, all the time saying, Elizabeth, I was just living my normal everyday life. I was just a housewife. I had 3 beautiful kids. You know, I had this life going for me and I thought that I had everything that I needed. And then boom, all of a sudden, one day I woke up, right? One day it hit me that there's so much more. And I could even get so emotional just thinking about it because what's taken me 26 years to realize, to come to terms with, to balance within my soul, within my body, you know, is taking people overnight to realize the depth of this reality. Like people are waking up. Okay, I want to ask all of you, who here in this chat room, this is really exciting, who here in this chat room has woken up, okay, that's what I want to call it, who here has woken up in the past 6 months, I would even say 10 months, since the beginning of 2018. That being said, before 2018, you were just, you know, a regular blow schmo, you know, living your life, completely ignorant, but just enjoying your time, right? And then all of a sudden everything changed for you. Who here since 2018 has woken the fuck up, okay? Who here has done that? Okay, good. A couple of people here. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, awesome. Who else? I woke up 4 days ago. Oh, amazing. Welcome. Welcome to this world within a world. Like the most mind-blowing thing about the awakening, about the fifth dimension, about understanding spirituality is, hold on, I just had it. Oh yeah, is that it's so incredible to think that there is an entire world within a world that no one sees yet. Like, how grateful do you feel right now for being here before the shift of the rest of the world to receive this information, not from me, but from yourself, right? How grateful should we all feel to be here at this time to really have this kind of awareness and this kind of insight? Like, it's incredible. And the rest of the world is following. Like, no longer are you going to be that individual soul in and amongst a crowd of ignorant people. Like, we are all awakening, all of us. There's literally no denying it. We're going in one direction, and it's either awakening or you just can't be here anymore, right? Anyway, so I just wanted to start off this live by saying you are fucking powerful. You are all teachers. You are all here because you've done the hard work, right? I'm only giving you validation of what you already know to be true within your soul. This is nothing that you don't already know. Okay, now that we're all on the same page of all of you being the teachers, one of the downloads that I received, so I went to Joshua Tree this past weekend. Wow, Joshua Tree has very similar energy to Laguna Beach. It has very similar energy to Sedona. Like, you pick up stones in Joshua Tree, you just pick up the sand in your hand, and it's all quartz crystal. It is crystal. All of Joshua Tree is just crystal. Like, the energy is intense. Like, when I first arrived there, I felt nauseous, and it was because my vibration was adjusting to the vibration of the land. While I was there, I was receiving tons of downloads. One of the downloads, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I totally forget, that this video on Mondays is at 5:55 because we're entering into the fifth dimension as you watch the video. Like, how cool is that, right? While I was on the land, the lights in the house that I was staying at kept flickering on and off, okay? Um, we kept feeling presence, individuals, ghosts, spirits, whatever, following us all around the property. And so I ended up tapping into the land, right, of Joshua Tree, and we were right by Joshua Tree National Park, and there was an entire tribe of individuals, an entire tribe of indigenous spirits who were lost. They were stuck on that land, and the chief contacted me. He was so beautiful. The chief contacted me, and he said, I can't even remember now. I think he said, "Can you help my people?" Or I said to him, I said, do your people need help? And he says, yes. He says, they've been battling in war for such a long time. And basically, there was a huge war that happened in Joshua Tree between two tribes, not between the white man and the indigenous, but between two indigenous tribes. And he said he spoke to his people in a language, and I recognized it as the Hopi language, which is really cool. And so basically, I opened up a giant white light portal, and I said, tell your people, please, if they want to move on, tell your people to jump into the white light, and they will move on and they will join their friends and family over on the other side. And so he did, and he spoke to his people, and it was so beautiful. And then, the warriors, but before the warriors, like the people in the wars, started going in, it was the women and children, right? It was just a beautiful harmony. The women and children went into the white light circle first. Then the warriors, the hunters, went into the white light and crossed over to the other side. And then I asked the chief, I said, will you cross over? Are you planning on going with your tribe? And he says, I will not leave this land until every one of my people cross over first. And I'm like, that's so honorable. Like, what a beautiful, like, what a thing for a chief to say, basically. So yes, so the land felt very much more calm than when I first arrived there. So everywhere I go, if I feel the energy, if I feel the calling, I'll kind of clear the land. So that was a really beautiful experience. So I want to talk about a download that I received while I was in Joshua Tree. And we're specifically going to be talking about the third dimension, okay, to the fifth dimension. And so, yes, okay, this is so interesting. And I'm hoping that I can kind of relay this information as concisely as possible. Okay, so how do I start this? Yes, okay. Okay, great. So I just want to paint a picture for all of you. Okay. I want you to think about every single day that you've lived. And I don't want you to think about the crazy, amazing, or the crazy, awful moments. Okay. I want you to think about the mundane day to day. You put the dishes away, you go grocery shopping, you clean your house, you pet your dog. I want you to think about the everyday scenario. Okay. Of your day to day. Okay. So now I want you to imagine, as you move forward, just metaphorically, as you move forward, there is this film, okay, around you. And it's kind of like a wall, but it kind of looks like the visual that I got was this like plastic film, okay? And as we're moving forward every day, we are on autopilot mode, which basically means that we're doing things every single day because it's safe to do them. Okay. And as we're moving through a survival mindset of, I'm doing this because I know how to do this, because I know it's safe, because I know I can do this, so I'm going to do it. Right. That's basically autopilot. Humans are naturally programmed, because I do believe we're living in that virtual reality, a simulation. Okay. So humans are programmed to be on autopilot mode in every single moment. And the reason why we're programmed to be on autopilot is for survival. It's for safety. Think about back when, we were cavemen, and you hunt, you gather, you get food for your tribe, and, it's all autopilot. It's based on safety. But no longer do we need to be in the safety mode. No longer do we need to be in the survival mindset. We have, especially in the Western world, we have more than enough water. We don't have to use our time to gather it. We have more than enough food. We have a shelter over our heads, right? And so we're living in luxury. And with all the extra time, we don't have to gather, that we don't have to grab water, that we don't have to fight for shelter. With all this extra time, we can expand our consciousness. But what does society want? Society, the elites, they don't want us to expand our consciousness. So what do? What do they help us do with all of our free time? They help us distract ourselves. Of course, they don't want us to know that we are powerful beings, right? They don't want us to utilize our conscious awareness in every single moment, right? So what happens is we get distracted by scrolling on Instagram or watching mindless TV, or or talking to our friends about that boy that that dissed her, or whatever it may be. But mindless things that actually don't add value to our lives or humanity's life, right? Living in survival is living in the third dimension. Living through autopilot programming is living in the third dimension, okay? So one of the biggest factors that we can't really help, okay, but we sign our contracts, is past lifetimes and Akashic records, okay? So what I've channeled very recently is that all of us, especially if you said yes to one of those questions before, right? If you've been awakening in the past 3 years, most likely you have also been completing, okay, past life karma. A lot of our actions, a lot of our reactions, a lot of our attachments, a lot of our irrational fears all come from past lifetimes. Now, it's a very, very difficult concept to pinpoint. And the reason why it's so difficult is because we can't viscerally see it. We cannot, in every single moment, most of us can't, understand and see our past lifetimes. So we have no idea what we are living through. We have no idea what we're attached to. We have no idea what we're bringing from old baggage from the past. We just don't know. Okay, so we've been living through our autopilot because a lot of our actions and reactions have been based on past lifetimes. What's been happening to this first wave of ascension, the teachers of this world, is that all of us have been hitting walls. All of us have been going through major, major challenges. All of us have been collapsing our reality and our attachments. And the reason why is because we have been completing the past lifetimes. We have to be re-challenged with the same lessons over and over and over again in order to make a different decision. If we're challenged with a lesson and we continue to make the same decisions over and over again to feed the fear, to feed the survival, to feed the programming, to feed the autopilot, then we're not moving forward, right? We've all felt stuck, like really stuck in the past couple of years. I myself have felt really stuck, a lot of people are like, why are my spirit guides going away? Why can't I channel as best as I could before? And it's because we've needed to be human. We've been forced to be human in the past 3 years, okay? Since 2016, we have been forced to be grounded enough to deal with the shit that we have not wanted to deal with for a very long time. Not just since childhood, but for many, many lifetimes, okay? We've all been forced to surrender. So I want to ask all of you, who here has been forced to surrender? If you've been forced to surrender, give me the thumbs up. Tell me yes in the comments. Let me know that you've been forced to surrender. And if you are even more aware of what you've been going through, please tell me, what lessons have you been going through in the past couple of years? The lesson of empowerment, the lesson of grief, the lesson of attachment, the lesson of materials, okay? Anyone here, what lessons have you been going through? My lesson is control, 100%. Like every single day this past month, the past 2 months, every single day, I have been slammed with the lesson of control. And I have been slammed with the lesson of letting go of control because I have a very masculine energy and I feel like I need to problem solve everyone's problems. And you just can't solve emotional problems. You just have to surrender to the emotions. Okay, so someone says here, social anxiety, okay, deaf empowerment, self-mastery, okay, amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, great, the lesson of bravery, fantastic. What else do we have here? Okay, good. Okay, lessons of finances and controls. Good, awesome, great guys, fantastic. So we bring it into the present moment. For the year of 2018, we've all been forced to complete karmic past lives. We've been forced to complete old energies from past lifetimes, which means we've also been forced to complete energies and lessons from this lifetime, okay? All of those lessons that we've been completing are all based on the third dimension frequency. We're all purging out old energy, old patterns, old attachments, because they no longer serve us in the fifth dimensional frequency. Is everyone still with me? Okay. So for some of us, not all of us, I can't just make an overarching statement, but for most of us who are here, okay, who have gone through the past 3 years in collapsing and rebuilding, what's happened is you've let go of so much stuff that now you're in a place, right, of asking yourself, what's next? If you're in that place right now, please tell me. What's next? What do I want? Who am I? Where am I going? Right? And so, for most of us who've done the work, this kind of whole cycle, this back and forth, this push and pull between third dimension and fifth dimension, it's meant to end at the end of 2018. 2019, 2020 is meant to be a year of rebirth, okay? A year of awakening, a year of reorganizing your foundations, okay? You're meant to recreate who you are. Now, the more and more we make decisions based on the autopilot programming, the more we make decisions based on fear and survival, the more we are perpetuating the old energy. The longer and longer and longer it's going to take for us to wake up and start living the life that we want to live. So the most important thing for all of you to know is that moving forward into 2019, every single day, you need to make a new decision, okay? Once again, I've said this so many times. It could be as simple as usually drinking your water with your right hand and switching it to your left hand for that day. Every single day, you need to start making new decisions to break your matrix reality, to literally break through your autopilot programming. If you want to break the matrix, then you want to stop feeding into the programming, right? You can literally collapse this simulation and you can hack this system. I'm telling you, it is possible to hack the system. And by hacking the system, you are letting go of the third dimension. You're letting go of the confines of space and time altogether. And you are entering into the fifth dimensional frequency, which is high and fast vibrations, right? I see everything in waves. So the fifth dimension is a very high vibrational frequency, very high wave vibration, okay? Hack the system. Okay, so I also want to mention too, let go of what is right and what is wrong. This is a really, really important concept. If you're writing notes, please write this down. Let go of what is right and wrong. The only person who creates the distinguishing factor between right and wrong is you. In the past, in the third dimension, in survival, we gave our power away to the institution to create our idea, our reality of what's right and wrong. The government tells us what's legal and what's illegal. Something like marijuana was illegal and still is quite illegal in a lot of ways all across this world. A plant is illegal. Apparently, a plant is wrong, and alcohol is right, right? So when we disempower ourselves and give our power away to the institution, then we let the institutions of this society dictate what is right and what is wrong. And every time we do something that is wrong, we blame ourselves, we feel guilty, we feel bad, we feed it into fear. Therefore, everything in society that is actually high vibrational has been considered wrong, and everything in society that is actually very low vibrational has been considered right. I cannot express enough to all of you throughout your awakening period. You're going to start to realize that this entire reality, this entire society is twisted. Everything is an illusion, okay? You have to question everything. And you have to let go of the distinguishing factor of right and wrong. Right and wrong does not exist. The more and more we dictate our lives based on what is right and what is wrong, the more and more we're feeding into fear, okay? So, for example, you can be in the fifth dimension. You can make conscious decisions, okay, without the concept of right and wrong. And I'm going to give you a really good example. And this is an example that I just channeled right before this live video. Okay, so the example is a donut, okay? That's my example, right? So whatever, like leave the vegan, vegetarian, whatever, healthy eating, amazing lifestyle, leave it all behind, right? And one day you're craving a donut, right? Everyone has those cravings. So you're craving a donut, you're like, oh no, but it's so wrong of me to eat sugar, or it's so wrong of me to eat eggs and dairy, you know? It's so wrong of me to do this or that. I can't have a donut. You're limiting yourself. You're bringing fear into your life. So in that moment, if you're like, you know what, I want a donut and fuck it, I'm just going to eat it. I'm just going to go for it. And you eat that donut, what you're doing in that moment is you're making a conscious decision. I'm not telling any of you to dictate your life based on right and wrong. I'm basically relaying to all of you to dictate your life on conscious and autopilot decisions. That's how you distinguish your life from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. It's not what decisions you make, it's how aware of every decision you make you are. Does that make sense? Are you guys all feeling me? I know I'm kind of in my little ranty mode, but it's amazing. So once again, it's not what you are choosing, right? It's not, okay? It's how aware you are of making that choice. That's it. You can even say, you know what? I know this donut is bad for me in a sense, right? I know it's not going to serve my body, but in this moment, I'm going to make that decision anyway. You are making a decision in a conscious way, which means you're hopping into the fifth dimension while you make that decision. The donut and the atomic molecule, but because you're bringing awareness to it, you're raising the vibration of that moment, okay? So I just want to kind of close that channel. One more thing is, if you make a decision like eating that donut and you're like, okay, I'm going to make the conscious decision to eat that donut. Great. So you raised your vibration. You're making a conscious decision. Fantastic. But then if you hate yourself afterwards for making that conscious decision to eat that donut, and for hours, for minutes, for days after, you're like, oh man, like I can't believe I ate that donut. I'm on a diet. I should have been doing better. I should have made a better decision. If you bring that kind of energy and vibration to every decision you're making, whew, is that not an exhausting life to live? You know, are you not pushing and pulling your energy in every single moment, right? So make conscious decisions in the moment, even if they're not the highest decisions. Make conscious decisions in the moment and fucking own those decisions. Be completely aware of it and say, yeah, I just made that decision and I'm going to own it. And that's great. And if that didn't serve me in that moment, then I'm going to make a decision in the next moment that is going to serve me. Okay. I know all of you are going to go out and eat a donut after this live video. Okay. So let's move on. Let's see, where are we at with time? Oh my goodness. Time is just flying. There's so much I want to get to. Oh man, I feel like I have to choose. Okay, what is more important? Okay, I want to talk about aliens. Let's talk about aliens. Okay, so I want to talk about disclosure and awakening and why they are synonymous. Now, when I say disclosure and awakening are synonymous, it means, you know, they're related. I don't even know what synonymous means, but it means they're one and the same, okay? When you have alien cosmic disclosure in your life, you are basically bound to awaken. Like, no word of a lie. Like, one means the other. When you have an experience, whether it be perceived as negative or positive, when you have an alien experience, whether it be seeing a UFO, getting abducted by them, having one in your living room, having dreams about them, whatever, right? You are bound to awaken. This is super important for all of you to know, okay? I want to ask you all, who here has had a disclosure moment? Now, basically what that means is you've woken up to realize that aliens do exist, okay? And if you feel vulnerable enough, what was that moment for you? Was it a UFO sighting? Was it an abduction? Was it an experiment? Was it a hybrid child? You know, what was that moment for you, okay? Let's see what we got going on here in Facebook. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so a lot of thumbs up. Okay, YouTube, we've got, yes, mine was reviewing FBI radical crime stats and realizing how, oh, interesting, okay. Okay, a couple of funny comments here, but what else? Blue orb in the sky in 2011, awesome disclosure, okay. You've had a disclosure moment, 3 UFO experiences within the past 4 years, amazing, okay, absolutely. Okay, so you've never had to wake up to the fact you've always known aliens are real. Okay, Neil, yes, 1 occasion UFO sighting. Okay, Valerie, sighting and feeling. Okay, fantastic. Great. So once again, the disclosure of aliens and UFOs are synonymous with awakening, okay? Most of you are here because you've had some sort of alien experience before, and if you're just interested in the awakening, then you need to be interested in aliens, because once again, one does not come without the other. You can't be enlightened and awakened without understanding that aliens exist. I mean, you're gonna hit a wall with your awakening if you don't let in the fact that aliens are real, okay? And I mean, an even deeper level to that is that we are all aliens ourselves. We're hybrid beings with these races, right? These interdimensional races. Okay, so what else did I wanted to say about, okay, yes. Okay, great. So what I want to mention to all of you, I always find that the people who are like, I don't want to have an alien experience, usually have the alien experiences, okay? And then a lot of other of you are like, I've been asking for an alien experience for 25 years and I've never had one, right? So there's always this really interesting kind of back and forth with the disclosure community. So if you are interested in taking the next level of experience and awakening and 5th dimensional frequency, I want all of you, maybe tonight, okay, I want all of you to ask for UFO/alien disclosure, okay? Ask for the disclosure. It's only going to come to you when your vibration is ready for it, but when you ask for it, they actually answer your call. All of us, especially all of us in this chat room right now, okay, all of us are connected to interdimensional beings in one way or another. And that being said, if we ask for disclosure, they're going to listen to us, okay? But we have to, the number one universal law of manifestation for all of you to know is that you have to ask for what you want in order to receive it, okay? And that's it. I mean, it's not going to happen if you do not ask for it. They don't know if you're ready for it. Okay, they can't make a guess. You have to make the conscious choice to ask for what it is that you want. Okay, good. Okay, so I really wanted to talk about ego memory versus 5D memory and how memory is just an illusion. But I don't have enough time today, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about memory next week. So please be aware of that. Now, I wanted to talk about a fun fact, just a little fun fact here. Atoms, okay, this is a fun science fact. Atoms only account for 5% of matter within our universe. You guys all realize that everything we see around us, the screen in front of you, the wall behind you, the table in front of you, all of these things, okay, are made of atoms. Of course, it's a physical material world. So if only 5%, like just really conceptualize this, only 5% of our universe, of the universe's matter, is made of atoms, then what else is the rest of the entire freaking universe made out of, right? How mind-blowing is that? So I'm going to basically channel, in my book that I'm working on right now with quantum physics, I'm going to channel all of the gaps in the quantum physics theories. If you know quantum physics and physics very well, and you know all of the gaps in the theories, please email me and we can collaborate and work together on, once again, channeling and filling in those gaps. Okay, great. So I'm going to do a group channel. I'm going to tap into all of your energies. I'm going to see what's going on with all of you and what you all need to know right now. Sometimes I connect to the Galactic Federation of Light and the Pleiadian Security Council. Sometimes, I'll just talk to my higher self or what have you. We'll kind of see what comes through. And yes, Greg, I think you're right. I think it does have something to do with antimatter. Ooh. Okay, before we get to the group channel and the live draw, I'm going to just briefly go over the announcements. Once again, everyone, 25% off all merchandise, including this crystal and meditation package, okay? The onyx, you've got selenite, you've got Palo Santo, and a guided meditation. The links will be added to the comments below, so please check that out. 25% off today only. That's it. It ends today. It ends at midnight tonight, okay? This is one of my awakening tank tops. We've got sacred geometry on each one of the pieces. We've got a t-shirt, which is for men and women, and it's meant to align your vibration. And the gold foil is meant to connect you to the cosmos, okay? Every time I wear my merchandise, I always feel in alignment with my chakra system and the cosmos. So 25% off today only, okay? So check out that link. In the new year, January 2019, so much content that I'm releasing. I'm releasing a 9-week intensive awakening course, okay? Every week there's going to be workbooks, there's going to be homework, there's going to be activities, there's going to be a download of information, 9-week intensive course, okay? And that's going to be released in January. And it's about raising your vibration from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension. Okay, I'm releasing guided meditations that you can purchase individually, and I'm also releasing all of my webinars from the past year. Webinars about reptilians, webinars about CERN, webinars about the Mandela effect, webinars about how to access your psychic abilities. I'm releasing all of those webinars that you can purchase and download in January 2019. My next webinar, speaking of which, okay, my next webinar is happening December 9th, and it's about mental health, okay? It's all about depression, anxiety, it's about psychosis, schizophrenia. If you or a loved one, a family member is suffering from any mental health, this is the webinar to join to, okay? If you've been feeling depressed and sad and you're looking for how to become happy, this is the webinar that you want to join, okay? Once again, December 9th, you can book a ticket off of my website, okay? Please, please, please check that out. And please, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, share this video to everyone else who's starting to question their reality, to everyone else who's starting to really wake up. Like, this is the time to realize that you are powerful, that you are here for a reason, and that you have the access to this information because you already have this information within you, okay? And then the last thing here is Mandela Effect Quiz. Are you Mandela affected or are you Mandela not affected? That quiz is exclusively released on my group on Facebook. So please add yourself to the group. It's Elizabeth April's School of Awakening on Facebook. Add yourself to the group. We have over 1,000 members. Thank you all for joining the group and posting incredibly conscious and intuitive content. Once again, we're all teachers. I'm here to learn from all of you just as much as you're here to learn from me. So add yourself to the group. Take the Mandela Effect quiz. Let me know if you are Mandela affected. Okay, fantastic. So let me just channel. For those of you who have no idea who I am or what I can do, I channel from universal source consciousness. Everything that I channel comes to me through a visual. So I'll explain what that visual looks like, and then I'll explain exactly what that means. Today, I'm going to be tapping into all of your energies, not just the people who are currently listening right now. And we've got, how many people do we have? 100 and almost 150, 100 and almost 180 over here. I don't know what the math is. 300-400 people. We've got about 400 people watching right now. So let's take a look. Let's tap into your energy. Let's tap into everyone who watches this video afterwards and see what all of you need to know right now. So just quiet your minds. Let me just feel out where you guys are and what's going on. So 1 second, everyone. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Wow. So some really interesting downloads here. I got one image at first, and they gave me a whole metaphor. And then I wasn't really satisfied with that image. And then they gave me another image, and it was the exact same lesson or message. So this is going to be really powerful and impactful. So please, please, please write down this information. Whatever comes to you, if it resonates with you, let me know. Okay. Um, Okay, so it's interesting. We've got Tone here who says, "Spooky, I feel a little bit uneasy when you do that, when I channel." And I'm not surprised that you feel uneasy when I channel that information, because the information that came through was a little bit uneasy, like the energy of it. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about what that information was. Okay, so the first visual that I get when I close my eyes and I tap into all of your energy, they love to give me these metaphorical visuals. Okay, so the visual that I get when I tap into all of your energy is an earthquake. Like, this is a really serious earthquake, and it comes to me so viscerally, so strong. This image is so strong that I really truly feel like there might be a pretty major earthquake somewhere in the world. Now, a lot of you keep up to date with news. I don't follow the news. I really am so out of the loop of what's going on in the world. So if there is something like a major earthquake happening in the world in the next few weeks, let me know. So the image was a huge earthquake created this huge gap, like how do I, like a crevice, like a huge gap in the earth. Okay, so there's like huge crack, and the land separates, and it creates this gap, and it goes into this dark black abyss. Okay, so this is the image, and literally, I literally feel like somewhere in the world there's going to be an earthquake that creates this kind of crevice. But it is a metaphor as well. So this is the visual that I channeled, which is there's this gap in the earth, and then there's this person who just represents, all of us. Okay, there's this person who falls down the crack, and I'm like, oh no, this person is falling into this dark black abyss. What does this mean? And so then the guides, I want to say that these are the Palladian spirit guides from the Galactic Federation who came to me, who were kind of explaining the visual, because I was just tapping in. And they told me that this represents what everyone is going through right now at this time. In a sense, it's been the dark night of the soul, right? Like, everyone's been going through an ego death. Everyone's been collapsing their reality. And we've all been falling into this dark freaking abyss. And so then I said, well, what happens next? What is it? So then it's this image of someone being in darkness, right? Not having any answers, not having any resources, not having any connection to anyone. And I literally I said, okay, well, who's going to help them? And I get the answer of no one is going to help them. They have to help themselves. This is a representation of where we've all been very recently, is we fall into this black hole, and the only one to get us out of the black hole is ourselves. And then I see this like kind of a pickaxe, and I see this just, person representing humanity pickaxing themselves out of this black hole, right? I'm like, oh, like that seems like it's a far way up to get yourself out of. And then the Palladians came through, and they said, there's a better way to do this. And I said, well, how? How is someone supposed to get themselves out of this place without any resources, any tools, any help whatsoever? And then all of a sudden, there was this energy of the person who's hanging on to the side of the wall that just lets go. They just let go. And I'm like, oh no, they're going to fall even further. But through the trust and the surrender of letting go, of trying to climb out and resist the darkness, through the surrender and the trust of letting go, they start to embody, and I'm even getting chills just channeling this. They start to embody pure source energy. They start to embody the truth within themselves. They start to embody pure consciousness, because pure consciousness comes from trust and surrendering. And as the person, let's go, as a society, let's go and embraces the darkness, all of a sudden we shine, like this beautiful, shining, pure white light comes from the person. And as they start shining with this pure white light, they actually start elevating, they start levitating, right? And as they get brighter and brighter in this kind of crevasse of this dark hole, as they get brighter and brighter, it illuminates. Literally, I didn't realize that there were so many people who were stuck in this darkness. And as the person illuminates themselves, they start to illuminate the entire crevasse for everyone else. And then there's all these other people who are grabbing onto the side of the wall saying, I don't know, I can't let go, but I can't get myself out of this situation. I can't get myself out of the darkness. And they're trying to reach for the light, but they're trying to reach for the light that is external to them. If you let go and you trust and you surrender, you realize that the only light that you fucking need is the light within yourself. And all of a sudden, that one person who trusts, the one person who surrenders, the one person who lets go, who allows themselves to feel into the darkness, is the person who illuminates the darkness for everyone else. And then all of a sudden, it kind of looked like visually little fireflies. And then all of a sudden, all of these other people who are clinging onto the wall start to let go, and they start to surrender, and they start to embrace. And I started this live video with the fact that you are all teachers, right? You are all teaching the rest of humanity. You are all a part of the first wave of ascension, which means that you are all the ones who need to surrender, who need to let go, who need to trust in the darkness, who need to trust in not knowing. And as each and every one of you do that, you illuminate your own path, and you illuminate for everyone else as well, okay? And in that way, you know, we all start to elevate and levitate out of that darkness, which is so incredible. And then I wasn't really satisfied with that visual. I mean, it's pretty incredible, but I wasn't really satisfied with that. So I asked the Pleiadians, I said, can you show this to me in a different way so that I can conceptualize it in a different way? Because I'm like, it's not enough, right? I asked for another visual. Okay, then I get another visual, same thing, a lot shorter, but same thing. This visual of this wave, like, and it looked like a tsunami, right? Like, once again, it's like they're showing me visual. No, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so they show me this huge tsunami that comes in, this huge wave, and this little itty bitty person. Once again, the person represents the whole consciousness of humanity. Now, basically, the Pleiadians told me, you can either swim with the wave, right? The wave is going to hit. The wave is going to hit. We can either swim with the wave, right? And ride that wave like a surfer, or we can swim against the wave. We can exhaust ourselves, and we can basically swim against the wave of enlightenment, the wave of consciousness. And sometimes enlightenment and consciousness doesn't always look pretty, you know? If we do not surrender to the wave that's going to hit us all, if we don't surrender to it and we try and resist it and we try and fight against it, what are we going to do? We're going to get caught up in the undertow. And for anyone who has been surfing, you know how dangerous that can be. We're going to freaking drown if we try and resist what's coming, okay? So the whole story is, right, the whole download is surrender and trust and embrace the dark, because it's only through embracing and surrendering to the dark where we can truly embody the light, and the light within us, not within anyone else, but within us. Okay, beautiful. Thank you all so much. Now, to finish it all off, let's end with a little bit of abundance. I'm going to pull 2 names. If you're all wondering how to get your name in this draw, there's over 350 names now in this draw. If you want to get your name in here, you want to review me on Google or Facebook, you don't have to have a session with me to review me. So just go ahead and review me. Your name will be put into this draw. And every single week, okay, I pull one name for something free. right now it's a free webinar. So I'm going to pull one name for a free webinar and one name for a free 30-minute session. My beautiful client, Carolina, she decided to give her session for the greater will of humanity. She says, give this to someone who really needs it. So I'm going to start with the webinar on anxiety and depression. I always set the intention, either the person who is chosen is someone who can't afford to buy a ticket, who is stubborn and doesn't want to buy a ticket, or who really, really, really needs a lesson on mental health, anxiety, and depression. Okay, so I'm going to do that one first, and then I'm going to do the free 30-minute session afterwards. So just one second. All right. I think I've got one here. Yes. Drum roll. Okay. Oh, I think this is a new name. I am totally going to botch your last name, but congratulations, Victoria Trujillo, Trujillo. Let's just take a look here. Victoria, congratulations. You have ticket to my next webinar. I will contact you for free ticket, and let's finish off with a free 30-minute session. Once again, this is someone who really, really needs the help at this time. So just put out your best and highest intentions that the person who wins this is really in need of this 30-minute session. So let's take a look here. Feel out the energies. Pick out someone who's intuitively. Okay, I think I've got one. So exciting. All right, this is a Google review. I know because I put a little G. All right, Carmen Rosario. Carmen Rosario, congratulations, Carmen. If you are watching this, Victoria or Carmen, please contact me because it'll take me a couple of days to get around to you, okay? So congratulations, Carmen. Congratulations, Victoria. Sending you both so much love, sending everyone else so much love. Thank you for reviewing me. Please review me if you want to get your name in the free draw every single month. Other than that, everyone, have an incredible rest of your Monday. Keep up the high vibes. I will see you all next Monday at 5:55 talking all about whatever comes through. So keep it up and sending you lots of love. Bye. Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube.